So you're going to do Steve Jobs.
Do Steve Jobs first, I think, lady in the van.
Yeah, and I think your phone's ringing, mate.
Oh, it's Tony. Hiya, To, you okay?
To?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah. I'm a bit lost.
Oh, you're lost? Oh, I thought you'd be well on your way. I thought you'd be well on your way with your walk by now.
You couldn't come and pick us up, could you?
Come and pick you up?
Yeah. You're not working, doing anything, are you?
Well, saying that...
You said you wouldn't be doing it this week without me.
That is true.
It's...
Well, me and Sean... Well, he kind of said he wanted to go to the park, you know, play on the swings and... kick some leaves.
It's very dark out here, so very cold.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? I can't hear you, Tony. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh, she's gone. Who's Tony?
Is he lost?
He's lost.
Oh, well.
Let's get on with it,
All right,
then.
let's go with it.
Each week we bring you all of the latest film news.
From interviews with filmmakers and actors to the new cinema releases.
What do you do? You're not an engineer. You're not a designer. You can't put a hammer to a nail. I built the circuit board. The graphical interface was stolen. So how come 10 times in a day, I read Steve Jobs as a genius? What do you do?
Musicians play their instruments. I play the orchestra.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Arts Alive film coming from a very noisy Odeon, Liverpool 1. I'm Tony Lloyd.
And I'm Freya Hannan-Mills.
So what's up next?
Steve Jobs, and we've only got 3 minutes, so it's going to be quick fire.
Oh, saying I go on a bit, do you? Well, go on. Hit me with it.
Okay, so this is a world before technology and Apple.
Yep.
And how do they show that?
Well, they show it in a very clever way. It's done in a 3-stage act, and each time we visit Steve, he's just about to launch a new product or a new revolutionary product for Apple. There's a very curious opening sequence where you have famous science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke talking about how computers will be in everyone's home. So you're just on the cusp of that technology happening.
I can't put it more simply than this. We need to put our resources into updating the Apple II.
By taking resources from the Mac.
It's failing. That's a fact.
It's overpriced.
There's no evidence that it's...
I'm the evidence. I'm the world's leading expert in the Mac, John. What's your resume?
You're issuing contradictory instructions. You're insubordinate. You make people miserable. Our top engineers are fleeing to Sun, Dell, HP. Wall Street doesn't know who's driving the bus. We've lost hundreds of millions in value, and I'm the CEO of Apple, Steve. That's my resume.
But before that, you sold carbonated sugar water, right? I sat in a garage with Wozniak and invented the future because artists lead and hacks ask for a show of hands.
All right. Well, this guy's out of control. I'm perfectly willing to hand in my resignation tonight, but if you want me to stay, you can't have Steve. Settle him out.
Right. I read that Steve Jobs was adopted. Does it show that?
Yeah, he's a very prickly character, very strange character. 1 minute he's very warm, very repellent, and all down to the great performance by Michael Fassbender to make you want to know more about this cold character. But yet he was adopted, and the crux of what he talked about was he was given away, and yet the CEO asks him, "No, you were chosen." So 2 very different viewpoints. But it did. At one point, he says to his daughter, "I wasn't made well." You know, so that's difficult for him.
Jobs insists, I'm quoting,
didn't invent math.
28% of the male population of the United States could be the father.
I wasn't saying you slept with 28% of American men. I was using an algorithm based on the blood test, which said there was a 94.1% chance that I'm the father.
You're trying to publicly paint me as a slut and a whore.
Believe me, I'm not trying to publicly do anything with you.
2 million people read Time. How am am I
would be
supposed
more if they put me on the cover, but Dan
I
Cocky
applied for
decided to
welfare
kidney punch
yesterday.
me. I'm sorry?
I said I applied for welfare yesterday. The Time article said your Apple stock was worth $441 million. And I wanted to ask you how you felt about that.
Well, I feel like Apple stock has been dramatically undervalued. This would be a good time to get in.
So there's quite a lot of dialogue in the film, I hear. So do they make all that dialogue long, or do they make it interesting?
They do. Well, what's the guy's name? Aaron Sorkin. They do this. Danny Boyle called it a standing up picture. His dialogue's quick fire dialogue. There's lots of walking around, people talking everywhere.
Yeah.
But you know what? It really works. They've got a great cast, firing on all cylinders. So it really works well. Lots of information, but delivered well.
And Aaron Sorkin, who made The Social Network.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a TV background as well. So yeah, lots of quick fire dialogue, and as you say, long tracking shots, people walking in and out of frame, all talking all over each other, but you make sense of it. Very clever.
So overall, do you think it was a good film?
I do. I mean, people have spoke about how, you know, some people close to him have said it doesn't represent him, but how can you represent someone so complex as that person?
Yeah.
I think they stick with the human side of him, and then they push away the tech, which I think was a great move. He's a complex man, a great story, and if you've got any interest in Apple, I think you should see it.
Well, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
You all right?
I think I'm about to be taken short. Can I use your lavatory?
No, the flush is on the blink.
I don't mind.
Where did she spring from?
Last year she was in Gloucester Avenue. Now it's our turn.
Miss Shepherd, I bought you some clothes.
I only asked for one coat. Green is not my colour.
You're on, sweetheart?
Don't sweetheart me. I'm dying, possibly.
Chin up, love. We all got to go sometime.
So next up is
The Lady in the Van.
Lady in the Van. So what did we think?
I thought it was really good. It kind of took us through every emotion. It was sad, then it went to being funny, you know.
Happy, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then back to sad again.
Yeah.
So what's the story? What's our story?
So the story is about, well, it's a mostly true story about a woman who came and stayed in a van and stayed there for 15 years.
In the driveway.
In the driveway.
Of writer Alan Bennett.
Yeah.
And she was a well-known character around Camden, wasn't she, at that time?
Yeah.
And she literally slept in an old Bedford van, which she painted a foul yellow.
I thought it was interesting how, at first appearance, you find her kind of old, and you find her funny at times, but kind of like
She's not a people person, is she?
But as you start to see her, you kind of see the more kind of dark, kind of awful part of her, because at one time she's been amazing. She's had this great time in her life where she was a nun and
a concert pianist, wasn't she? And a brilliance. And it just goes to show, doesn't it, about how you can get to know people. So who plays Our Lady? It's the great Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith
playing Miss Shepherd.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of her names.
One of her names.
But it's a curious film about.
Yeah.
It's not a big cosy friendship between Alan Bennett and the lady in the van, is it? They get on each other's nerves a lot, don't they?
They do.
I mean, she was like terrorised the neighbourhood. But it's a film. Is it a film about friendship, do you think?
I do. It's friendship in one case, yeah.
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 But there was, you've got with Alan, with the story. This is insane. I'm sorry. I think some people are trying to drill through actually into the cinema.
We're under attack.
We're under attack. Well said. I think the Cylons are coming. Anyway, it's a warm film. It's a very English film. Well directed. Great stellar cast.
Yeah.
James Corden comes up there, you know, the comedian.
Yeah.
Just prior for him to go into America, he turns up as a street trader with a nice funny line about the lady. But all in all, what did we think?
I thought it was a really, really good film.
We tell people to go and see it?
Definitely.
Yeah, go and see the Lady in the Van. Use us.
Oh, did you make that noise?
Only slightly.
Mr. Bennett, I came into your drive for 3 months and I stayed for 15 years.
Would you like me to make you a cup of coffee?
No, I don't want you to go to all that trouble. I'll just have half a cup.
So that's it for part 1. And what's coming up in part 2, Tony?
Well, Freya, we've got Doug and Johnny coming in to give us a progress report on their latest film project. So, see you after the break. Move it.
It's the opening night and they're lighting the lights. The orchestra is tuning to make sure they sound right. It's time to start our show tonight. There's sensational scenes, the cast of your dreams, and razzle-dazzle dancing like has never been seen. It's time to start our show tonight.
Welcome back to part 2.
And welcome to Doug, Johnny, Mary, who we're going to be talking to in a minute. But before we start talking to them, we're going to look at a behind-the-scenes video that they've done for their new film, Blackout.
That's nice. Okay, what's the audio like? The audio should be reasonably good, actually.
Right, quiet on set, please. Action.
Well, I'm Johnny Hurst and I play John Rush in the film Blackout.
Johnny! Well, if it isn't my favourite bounty hunter. Wow, my mistake. I made my favourite private investigator.
It's my favourite scene would have been probably the opening scene, actually, where he's walking down the streets and then there's a chase scene. I enjoyed that, but away from the acting, I think it was just the real sort of the cast, you know, the team, you know, the fun we had, the rehearsals and going into those scenes. And what you don't see is that there's a lot of fun behind it. There was some good laughs, and I really enjoyed that. The guys were great, like, and couldn't have asked them to a better bunch, really.
So I'm Christine Corser and I play Heidi in the film.
Mr. Rush. Mr. Rush.
That's right. You must be Philippa.
Yes, yeah.
It's me, yeah. Hello.
This is Heidi.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Good to meet you. I guess these are your children.
Yeah, this is Sam. This is Olivia. Say hello to Mr. Rush. He's going to help us.
Hello, Mr. Rush.
Hello, good to meet you too.
You've only done one scene, I think it is, so far.
Yeah.
But briefly, what you've learnt about Heidi, I mean, does she seem a nice person? Have you played someone like that before, or?
Well, she's quite mumsy and protective in the scene I've done, but obviously there's a lot of complications around the actual character, so what she's like as a person could end up being completely different to what we've actually seen of her so far. So there's a lot of depth, and there's various ways we could go with it. Obviously, not having seen the script moving forward, I'm not sure exactly what will happen, but she could turn out to be exactly like we've seen her, really cutesy and mumsy and protective, or she might turn out to be a bit of a darker character. We'll see.
Well, my name's Lily and I play Sam in the film. My name's Mary and I play Olivia in Blackout.
Mr. Rush, Olivia's dying and she only has a few months to live.
Now, Olivia, she sounds poorly in the film. What do you think is going to happen to Olivia?
I think, well, of course I don't know, but I think she's going to persevere and Try not to die.
I'm Jack McLaughlin and I'm the sound recordist on Blackout. Our favourite scene, I'd have to say the scene where John's getting beat up by Tony and Mr. Smith, because it was a very almost like a gangster film, and you felt like you were there, and it was like, you know, like Johnny did a great job, and it was like you really felt like the roughness and the violence and the grittiness. So I loved that in the films, and I felt it there, so that was great.
1, 2, 3. No, do it again. No, it's a really good boost. Do it properly. Do it. Okay, this. No.
Well, I'm Matthew and I play DCI Joe Blakemore.
Now, you're not the only policeman that's in the film. Can you explain briefly your co-conspirator, your co-DCI?
Yeah, he's much better actor than I am, I have to say. He's fantastic. He's he's really good fun to work with. We're sort of the good cop, bad cop, I think, in the film, and he's fantastic. He's really good stuff. And I think hopefully there's going to be a lot more tension between the two of us as the film develops.
A couple of years ago, he was dumped by his partner. He had a rough time of it. I helped him out. I thought he was over it.
Go on.
When he rang me last night asking for that favour, it was like he was 4 years ago.
And you're just going to go and help this psycho and give him that address?
This psycho DCI manning might just help us break our case.
I'm Catherine and I play Claire in the film.
Now, it was quite an intense and fast scene that you've so far been in. Obviously there's more to come, but you were in. How did you find that?
We shot that scene several times, which probably isn't unusual. But as they went on, they seemed to get more and more sort of fast-paced and more aggressive. And I did think back on the scene, if it had been in real life where a strange man had approached us, I probably would have just smacked him.
Olivia! Olivia! Where's Heidi? Where's Heidi? Tell me where Heidi is. Olivia, where's Sam?
Stay away from us!
Tell me where Sam is, Olivia, please. Tell me where Sam is.
Are you a stalker? What are you doing?
I'm a stalker.
Stay away from us. How do you know my daughter's name?
I met this little girl the other day by church. Tell your mum the truth, Olivia.
Is this your first experience in film? Oh.
Yes, it's my first film. Yes, I've done some tap dancing with the Chuckle Brothers, but I don't think that counts.
What are the Chuckle Brothers like?
To me, to you, yeah, they're yeah, same.
So guys, we've just seen the behind the scenes. So, Doug, tell us a little bit, just give us a recap on the story for Blackout.
Yeah, sure. Blackout is an action thriller set in the Merseyside area, mainly Liverpool, but also the Wirral. It follows the adventures of John Rush, a private investigator, who's been tasked with finding this little girl's biological father, because, well, as you've probably seen in the film, she's not very well. So he starts looking into that, but unfortunately, like most thrillers, it doesn't go according to plan, and soon he gets into a lot of trouble.
Okay, don't tell us any more. That sounds really good. Mary, good to see you. Can you tell us a little bit about who you play in this?
Well, I play a little girl called Olivia, and as Douglas said, she's ill and needs a biological father. She's 10 years old, like me.
So they've cast well.
Yeah.
Lazy cast.
So is this your first film you've done, or have you done others, or?
Well, this is my first film, but I've done like school plays and things.
You've done school plays and that, yeah, excellent. Okay, Johnny, tell me a little bit about your character.
Yeah, I play John Rush. John Rush is a private investigator. He's got both links. John, he's on the good community side of things, and he's also got close links with the underworld, and also within the police force as well. You know, and with John he's a good guy really. He's nobody's fool. He's quite tough himself really, and you find with John is he thinks he's doing a good turn, he thinks he's doing a good job, but what happens is we find out that is he getting set up, and I think we discover where at some point don't want to give too much away, but he is being set up really, and it just develops where John starts kind of like it just unfolds, and that's when we just see this kind of this battle going on with this gun battle and stuff, you know.
So am I right in thinking did you say there's about 40 odd minutes of finished film?
Yeah, we only intended to do 10.
That's what I seem to remember that.
And this isn't blowing smoke anywhere in particular, but thanks to Johnny and various other people, we had such a great cast that applied that we kept adding scenes and scenes and scenes, we ended up with 42 minutes. So we're halfway currently.
So you're going to be feature length then?
It was always planned. Well, feature length, yes, but we don't know if it's going to end up in a film or maybe just a TV series. So maybe cut it down. But the longer you have, obviously, the more options.
I mean, you know, in the film, there's the level of acting from some of the actors are really hard. You know, there's some real good, some strong performances.
And Mary included on that, and her sister as well.
Mary. Yeah. This must be such a good fun experience for you.
Yeah, because like the cast are just so friendly, and also to work with my mum and my sister, it's just amazing.
So you're acting with your mum and your sister, innit? Wow, that's incredible. So we get to get back to the nitty gritty of why you're here. You're starting a Kickstart.
A Kickstarter campaign.
So how can people get involved in helping you to finish the film?
They can either go to Kickstarter and type in Blackout, and then you'll see a young picture with a young lady here, or they can go to our website, which is www.tvplusfilms.com, and they'll be able to find out all about the film, the Kickstarter campaign. And with Kickstarter, you get rewards. So we give memorabilia, copies of the film. So you're not just giving money, not getting anything in return. So you get plenty of rewards as well.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Johnny, Mary, Doug, thank you for your time. So, guys, if you want to get involved in supporting Blackout, remember what Doug said. I'm sure some of the details will be up on the screen. And does that wrap it up this week?
Yeah, that wraps up part 2, and that's the end. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for part 1. And what's coming up in part 2, Tony?
Well, in part 2, we're having an interview. I'm just starting thinking, oh, sorry, come on, let's go back in. Sorry. Right, well, in part 2, we've got Doug and Johnny, who's coming in to talk us to... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't call me Doug.